Welcome to the Life of KG, your ultimate destination for all things motivation and business insights. Join me, Katie Godfrey, serial entrepreneur and the brains behind the KG brand. Along the way, we'll welcome inspiring guests and share invaluable business tips to fuel your growth journey. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. With that said, let's dive into the world of success together. I need to tell you about our Lash and Brow Growth Serum. If you're not retailing this within your business yet, this is a no-brainer. The profit margins are amazing, but your clients are going to be so happy with the results because they are insane. I've been working on this product for the last 10 years because I wasn't going to bring out this unless it was the best. So you can go and head over to kgprofessional.com. Go and grab yours for only £14 and you retail it at £34. Go and get yours now. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. This episode is going to be a little bit different because Emily is going to be interviewing me. This is exciting.
It's a guest host, not a guest. What a dream.
I actually love being interviewed though. Like,
it's so nice. Oh my God, it's so good. Like the ego, the boost, the reminder of everything you've done.
Yeah.
So nice, isn't
and
it?
I'm a massive open book as well. So if someone asks me a question, like, you're going to get it all.
That's right. Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
So I think we need a bit of a reminder of all of the hats that you wear.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So I mean, product owner, academy. So give us a quick kind of summary where you are today, 2025, especially with everything that's happened in the last few months.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so I've still got one of my existing salons. That's 15. Oh my God, it's going to be 16 years old by the time this episode's released.
That's mad.
So 16 years I've had my salon, which, has been a mental journey. I've still got my training academy, which we're mainly online. That's for lash and brow artists. We've got the product range, which again, we've had for absolutely donkey's years, which we sell in so many salons across the UK, a few abroad as well, which I really love. And hopefully we'll be in Dubai soon. And we've also got like our lash and brow serum as well, alongside that, which is more for consumers. My day-to-day though, because all of those businesses are passive. So
wow. That's a massive achievement.
It really
That is like goals for me, who is not passive at all.
Yeah, no, I'm all about passive life. So they're passive. The teams run them, like everything's amazing. Don't get me wrong. That's taken me many, many years to get there.
Yeah.
Many years. And, sometimes you have to quickly dip in and then you can dip back out again. My mind is still on them. Like they're passive, but the mind is still there, right? You're still like, okay, what next? Like, do we need to change this? Do we need to change that? The marketing, all of that jazz. But my day-to-day is coaching, consulting, podcasting.
Yeah.
And I absolutely bloody love it.
Yeah,
like that's my calling in life. Like I love it.
Yeah. What do you think it is that you love about them? Can you sum up 3 things?
I love helping people. Like it's always been my thing, from people coming into the salon and how they feel when they leave, to training people into a new career and giving them this whole lease of life, to helping people with their business, whether they're starting, struggling, or they're stuck at growth and need to scale. Like however I can help them, I just love it. Like I'm truly, truly passionate about helping others.
Do you think that's your why?
Yeah.
And that's what has driven all of this empire?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like it's all about the person, not me.
And do you feel like your cup is full because you filled up their cup?
Yeah. Like if I have a client that, maybe we're not getting the results, or because, it's not easy. Some people get results, some people don't. Obviously, hopefully most people do, but there's always going to be, it's business, right? Like, and it's not an overnight success. Like it's bloody hard work.
No.
So, but if there is someone that's, a little bit more struggling or not seeing the results as fast as they want, or whatever that might look like that's my job to make sure that changes. Like that needs to change.
And do you think like that's really what's been like the success of your service versus maybe some other coaches?
I think so.
How passionate you are and how involved you are in these people's businesses.
I think so. Like, and sometimes the downfall of that for me is I do get sucked dry.
Yeah.
You know, I have had my burnout phases, which, with don't wish them on anyone.
Yeah.
I have, especially I'd say, over the last 6 months where we've really scaled, I've really had to be like, Kate, get back in control, because you're living for everyone other than yourself.
Yeah.
So that's definitely like the bad side to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not the coach that just is looking at this as this is really good income and money, and I'm doing it to get every single client I can for the cash. Like, no, I've made plenty of money doing it like this way. So yeah, it's always about the results for me rather than anything else.
Yeah. And how do you fill your own cup up? How do you keep your own energy levels when you're giving so much to others?
Because it's like giving therapy every day, right? Like, because I'm teaching them business, like that's what I specialize in. Like, I will be able to take you from this to this. I'll be able to double your turnover. I'm very confident in that. But at the same time, especially when if you're in my mastermind, my high level mastermind, you get me one-to-one. If you're a one-to-one client, you've got me one-to-one. I'm dealing with your bad days, your good days, your partner and you not getting on because then that's affected your business. Like all them things that people don't see, like I'm that shoulder to cry on.
Wow.
So that can be really, really difficult. But it's, I'd say recently I've been putting them boundaries in place, but still that person to them. So for me, keeping my cup full is, okay, make sure I do have them switch off times now, which I wasn't very good at.
Yeah.
You know, and I know it might be like, today I'll stop at 6 and then notifications off. Yeah. Whereas before that would just carry on going because I love it. Yeah. Like, it's not a job for me.
It's a life, isn't it?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, okay, like, get back in control. So those things, obviously being with my family, like, it's my ultimate thing. Traveling for me is like what just feeds my soul. Like, I love it, which obviously we resonate on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I keep my cup full that way.
And did you find before you kind of put those boundaries in place that it was like an addiction?
I will fully admit that I'm a work addict.
Yeah.
Like, and that's no joke. Like, I am addicted to work.
Yeah. And like, do you ever get that like guilt? Obviously you've built this passive life now and you've obviously put these boundaries in place. Do you have those pangs of guilt that, oh my God, I'm not at the laptop. Oh my God, that client's business isn't going well, but it's 7 p.m. You know, do you get that feeling?
Yeah. I don't even know if that will ever go. Like, I will have the boundaries. I have the flexibility. I'll have summers off. I will do all of those things, but I'll be itchy. I'm itchy to get back. Yeah. Is that because I'm addicted? Oh, is that because no, there is worse things to be addicted. I literally picked up the phone to my best friend not so long ago, and I was like, I'm addicted to work. I don't know what to do. And she's like, Kate, there is worse things to be have addictions.
Not class A. It's all good.
We're all good.
We're not gambling.
Yeah, but you know, I love it, and this feeds my family. It feeds my lifestyle. Like. There is worse things to be addicted to, but I do get the itchy feet. I do need to, like, for me, my come down is get my laptop out. Like, I love that. Like, you ask me to chill out. Okay, where's the laptop?
Yeah, let's go.
Like, let's work on the landing page. Let's try and make some sales. To me, that's chilling out.
Yeah.
It's odd, isn't it?
It's not, but I'm the same. And my biggest thing is, oh my God, it's 8 a.m. I'm not on the laptop, but I'm in the gym, and the gym for me is meditation. I'd love to know some of your wellness practices too, but I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I've taken this time for myself, and I'm in that real cusp of allowing myself to have that time.
Yeah,
it's a big thing for me for 2025.
I would say what I'm like. So if I go to the gym, for me, that's like a must. I work out mainly from home now. Since I've had the baby, before that it was gym, but I have to make sure I'm doing something work related while I'm in the gym. Yeah. So my podcasts will always be on. I'll be listening to something. The creative juices will go in the meantime. Like, I will be like habit stacking constantly.
I love that. I'm forever replying to emails, which is not the vibe. And I do a lot of strength training. So you can imagine trying to lift the dumbbell while tapping an email. It's not working for me. What do you think, like, the big things are that you've learned in the last 6 months that you want to put in for 2025?
I've actually learned something that I went back on and now I've come back to. So one of the things to me was multiple streams of income. It's always been my thing.
Yeah.
I've always done it. I've never had just one business. There was a time I think it was like last year, beginning of last year and 2023, beginning of 2024, I was like, I don't know if I actually think that we should have multiple income streams, but meaning... Obviously, everyone wants multiple income streams, but meaning working on multiple businesses at once.
Yeah.
And I was like, avoiding more people to do it unless their existing business is passive. Because I do, and I still do believe that you need to give something 100% for it to work well. But then coming back into middle of 2024 and now 2025, I'm all for the multiple again. Which I guess is just what I've always done, but more about your time management.
Yeah.
Like making sure you're working equally on things, but I still only believe that you should do that second side hustle, that second business, if your first one is
thriving.
Yeah, exactly. Thriving, already working.
Entrepreneur is the term. And I feel like I've had this too. And it was like shameful to want these multiple things and not niche down. I know we need to niche down, but there was this big
niche word.
Niche down, just do this, just focus, da-da-da-da-da. But when you've got multiple things you can give and do, it's very hard to switch that on.
It's so hard. I did, like, every mentor I worked with as well were like, no, niche, Kate, niche. And I was like, for me, like, I want to work with women in business. Like, I don't just want to work with beauty, hair and aesthetics.
Yeah.
That is my passion. Yeah. That is in me, my blood since I was a kid. But I've learned so much in business over these years and been mentored as well by incredible, like, coaches. I have so much to share. If you're a coach, I can coach you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a restaurant, I can teach you how to fill every table. Like, I can do all of the things. So to my coach, it's like, well, why can't I just do women in business? I'm like, no, it's too broad. You need to niche it. So my messaging's niche, but I do have lots of other businesses I work with.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, yay. Guys, I really need your help. My book is launching on the 14th of April. I'm so excited, but I'm also really nervous. Please can I ask you to join up for the waitlist? So on the day of launch, you can help me. This book is everything you need to learn about business, how to grow it, how to scale it, how to have a team to help you build it. Everything you need is within it. Think of a whole year of coaching within a book. So go and join the waitlist, and I can't wait to hear your feedback.
And I think there were some other big things that happened in 2024.
Love 2024.
I know, what a year, by the way. Year of the Dragon, year of transformation. I pulled the card of death, which is the big year of transformation, and man,
my God,
we are transformed. But I feel like I'm going to get some tea now that not everybody's kind of like understood. And I know that you said you're okay to talk about it, but I would love to really understand a bit more about what's happened in your personal life, because there's such a beautiful story there. And I feel like as women, we're not allowed to talk about these things because we look weak, or when it's gone wrong, it's embarrassing, so we hide away from it. But man, it is tough out there in romance, in business, and then when you do them together. And I think something that a lot of people could actually really benefit from is hearing some of that story.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's okay and like what happened. So I know there's a ring back on your finger.
Not really exciting. It's a little bit big because I've lost so much weight.
What a problem to have. And so, yeah, like I know that I'd seen kind of over the summer, there was a rekindling, and I would just love to get the tea for everybody.
Oh my God. Like, well, me and Luke have been together for 5 years.
Yeah.
And pre-Luke, I was a single mum, and I was for 6 years. 6 years? No, maybe, maybe roughly about that.
All blends when you're a mum.
It really does. Like, it's all one. But I loved my single life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's not necessarily like partying or anything like that. I loved solo parenting. I loved being on my own with Lola. I loved that we traveled the world. Like, I loved that I could just do my own thing. I loved it. We honestly had the best life.
Yeah.
And I'll still say that now.
Yeah.
So when me and Luke got together, He is an amazing person. There's not a bad bone in his body. Like, he's an incredible father. Like, I can't like give him enough praise. He's really a good person. But I always struggled with, I can't really travel now with this massive family that I've got, because he's got a daughter. I had Lola. We've gone on to have Brody. So we're a family of 5.
Yeah.
From me and Lola, that's a massive difference when you want to travel all the time.
Is so many bags, and I don't have children, but I watch what that struggle looks like. And I'm like, well, it's just me. I'm lost.
I know. So I'm like, I had to maybe stop a lot of what I loved, or not do it as much. I felt like I had to work more and harder to be able to still have the lifestyle that we had. There was a lot of that going on, but the love was always there. Then there was things that happened in our relationship, which wasn't awful, but I really struggled with. And it just took its toll, and we split up the end of 2023.
Okay.
He left, which was a really, really difficult time for him. He didn't want that at all. I needed to be on my own because I felt like I was losing myself with work and with personal and with everything.
And a new baby, and now it's two children plus
a baby
child that you keep pouring so much into.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I quickly realised, being a single mum of 2 and one that was a baby, you know, there's 7 years difference between my children, that was very, very difficult. We co-parented beautifully because, like I said, he's not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. So that worked out completely different to the first time. And completely different. So it's not terrible.
That's on the next episode.
And I never thought, I swear to God, Emily, I never thought we'd get back together.
Yeah, I've been in those relationships, and I'm the hopeless romantic who always wants to get back together, but then, you know, it never does. Thank God to the universe that it never did. But yeah, it must have been like, God, with all of that going on, and that's kind of also around the time of the huge growth of all your businesses, and you're managing that, and you're trying to be there. And have you learned like a lot about yourself in that process?
I have. I'd say one of the big things, and I'll be open, and I really hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, but I don't think it takes genius to work out. I'm the breadwinner of our relationship. I am in most relationships I have entered in my life.
Yeah.
Lots of men struggle with that.
Yeah.
I'd say most of them do. Luke never has. He's never been that man to be like, can you put your phone down? Can't believe you're working. Oh, you made that much today. Like, he's never been like that. It's like super supportive. But there was part of me before we broke up that I did struggle with that. I thought, imagine if we were both business minded. Imagine if we both could make this much money and all of this, and we could do this and we could do that. And I did struggle with that. But I think having that break apart, I learned to love each other's differences.
Yeah.
Like, we don't both have to be entrepreneurial. Like, I'm the risk taker, he's not.
Yeah.
And that balances us out. And I think it's very hard in this stone age where women are entrepreneurs. We are very doing all the things, wearing all the hats.
Yeah.
We can run life ourselves. We don't need a man anymore.
Yeah.
We really don't need a man.
But we want them.
We want them.
And that's a big thing.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't have to be so masculine, and I'm very much that.
Yeah. And that's a big thing from my personal story, just to jump in, is when I met my now fiance, what a weird word. I was like down and out. It was a tough time. I know in my episode we talk about some of that. I was so in my feminine. And if I hadn't been in that feminine space and calm and come out of Emily the career getter, Emily the get-goer, Emily the this, there wouldn't have been room for him to be there and allow him to support me. And he's the kind of man that wants to take care of someone. And that's been a big adjustment for me, because I come from a single mum. My dad wasn't really around so much. So I am like, hell yeah, it's us. Take care of me. And now I've got this whole human that does so much for me and takes care of me. And it's been a huge adjustment.
Yeah, definitely. And it is getting used to that, and the pros and cons of, what both of you are and what you bring to the table. And I've come to terms with that and actually now really like it. It was one of my other good friends said to me, I remember we was having breakfast, and she was like, if he was like you and you both had successful businesses, he's going to be like, no, whose business comes first?
His business comes first.
His business is going to come first. He's going to expect you to do the food on the table when the kids come home. He's going to expect all of those things. Whereas at the moment, with yours being first, like, that works. So there's no like comparison. There's no like, oh, whose business is this first or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true.
Yes.
Like, we know my work comes first. My business comes first. If I need to work late or if I need to travel or whatnot, it's always okay. Whereas that wouldn't be the case if we were both entrepreneurs.
No, there's a lot of ego. And, you know, there's a lot to be said for a man who will stand and support a woman in that way. Like, it's phenomenal. And we hear so much about toxic masculinity, and I'm sick of it. Like, I want to talk about positive masculinity and positive men who bring incredible support into our lives, and we can't do it without them.
Yeah, I can't. And I think now we've scaled so much in the company, like I would never even believe. I can't do this on my own anymore. And I think I needed that to happen and our breakup to happen to actually realise that actually life's so much better with you in it.
Yeah,
like, my family are, you know, my children love it, and like, they've got both parents. We're both now happy, whereas before I was unhappy. And I can't do everything.
And we shouldn't have to.
No.
We've got to stop telling ourselves as women that we have to be this, we have to be that, we have to be all these things. You should be what you're good at. Oh, this is going to sound terrible now. This is so bad. But you got to outsource what you can't do, right?
Yeah,
and that's the same in life, in business and everything. And let men in, let them help.
Yeah.
I remember hearing a statistic a long time ago that one of the reasons why that women don't go as far ahead in the workplace, I know there's lots, but one of them is that we don't delegate and we don't open up and we micromanage. So then we don't have the right amount of time.
Yeah.
And we don't prosper because someone else has prospered.
Yeah.
Because we're told to hold on to it and to do it all, and you have to do that. And I think it's time to let people know that with the right person, look at what you can achieve.
Definitely. Like, I am a huge delegator, like queen of delegation in business, not in personal.
Yeah.
Like, but like, say for example, today, no, I'm not doing school run. To be honest, I don't want to do school run. Yeah. Like, I don't want to do it. I used to say I love it, and all the mums used to say I was mad. No, I've come to that point now where I don't want to do school run.
Done it enough.
And don't get me wrong, I still do it more than what Luke does school run. But, you know, he'll pick the kids up today. They'll be completely fine. They'll be bathed in bed by the time I get home.
Yeah.
And I'm in my happy place.
Yeah. And you've been able to come out and provide that next step for your family.
Love it.
I want to go a little bit west. I want to talk about something that I know that we both love, which is some of the wellness and some of the healing that you've done. And I was lucky enough to live in Bali, and I know you've been there.
Yeah.
And there are some things that you tried out that I really want to hear more about, and how they've impacted you as a person, but also actually helped with your business.
Yeah. So I spent a month in Bali and I absolutely loved it. I travelled solo with the children. Luke come to meet us halfway through, which is when we like rekindled.
Yeah.
It was just before I went. He allowed me to take the children, or Brody, because Brody's is his. He's the best stepdad to Lola. And he was gutted that we were going, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to like that. But, you know, and then just as we started talking again, I was like, do you know what? Why don't you just come? Like,
what have we got to lose?
I do want to do it on my own with the children, but come halfway through, obviously worked around with his work anyway. And he come out and spent half the time with us, and just the best thing. Like, I don't know if you saw the video on Instagram where he like gets out the car and surprises the kids. It's like, oh,
I've seen it. It was beautiful to watch.
The best thing ever. But my reason for Bali was there is so much healing I wanted to do, and Bali's just obviously the place to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I wanted somewhere that was just like peaceful. Everyone's so grateful for everything. Obviously, they're like huge when it comes to healing and therapy and screaming it out and all those type of things. And yeah, there was just like, I think everyone's got some type of healing that they need to do within them. Like, everyone's been through something, even if you think you haven't, you most probably have.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we hold on to so much as humans, and especially British. We're shameful, we hold on, we're very regretful. I went to an event yesterday and people were like, oh, sorry, my name is. And it's like, he's asked you to introduce yourself. What are you apologising for? What are we doing, guys? Because we hold so much shame, because we hold so much trauma, and we don't release and screen release and somatic release and all these things. Is there any of the lessons that you learned in Bali that you've like integrated and brought back into your English life?
Basic living. So I'm in this frame of mind at the moment where like, it's definitely been since Bali, I don't need all the materialistic things. And I haven't always wanted that anyway, but I do like the nice things.
Yeah.
But now that's not my priority, like at all. And it was definitely from seeing just the simpler life of Bali and how happy you can still be.
Yeah.
So I still, you know, doing that now, even to the point where I can't say too much, but we're in the middle of doing something huge. And part of me is like, I don't want none of my stuff. Like, I just want to go back to basics.
Yeah.
And like rebuild. And I'm really in that mind at the moment where it's like, you can be really happy with the most minimalistic things.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, like you said, with expectations and stuff, there comes to a point, especially when you're in the spotlight, as you might say, all of the time. Like, I can't, like, in my local, I'm known so much that I can't just run to the shop with no makeup on. Or you feel the pressure all the time. I'm definitely more comfortable in myself now than I ever have been. But I'm always like, I want to go somewhere where no one knows me. I mean, when I'm abroad, it was hilarious. We was on holiday and I think it was Croatia. And someone come up to me there and was like, Katie, and like, Luke's like, are you joking? You can't go anywhere. And I'm like, I know. But I think to the point of that is like just being able to just be me and not anything else, and not have to worry about what other people think all of the time. Like, love me or hate me now, I don't really care. I'm stopping people pleasing. I'm a massive people pleaser.
Yeah. So I've seen this trend on socials, and as you know, I'm a TikTok lover. What are your ins and what are your outs for 2025?
Oh,
so this is a bit that one off the cuff.
My ins and my outs.
If out number one is people pleasing, what else is going out?
Definitely people pleasing. Being available to everyone, is that people pleasing? It kind of is, isn't it?
I don't know if it's. I think it's. There's a difference though, because I think when you're available to everybody, you've not set any boundaries for yourself either. It's kind of a second, like a tree branch that comes off from people pleasing, but it definitely needs its own out.
Yeah, definitely.
So
people pleasing, boundaries. I feel this is also people pleasing, but saying no, like saying yes all the time is out, saying no is coming in. And then in is building wealth.
Yeah.
Because I'm a massive spender.
Yeah. Generational wealth as well is so key now, because, I mean, it's hard for us for property and all these things and education, but how on earth is the next gen going to come up?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's really difficult. So for me, it's definitely wealth. I'm really good at like saving and all of that stuff, but I need to go to that next level now. So wealth building for me is coming in. Happiness is coming in, like as in just my family, what makes us happy, and all my decisions are going to go around that. And new life is coming in. That's all I'm saying.
Is it another baby?
Definitely not. Kill me now.
Yeah, we're going in for.
I really do not.
I love that. So then I guess, give us the movie star trailer. Give us what we can expect from you for 2025. Like, you know, we've obviously known each other a while, but I know there are some diehard followers out there who've known you for a long time. What can they expect to see from you in 2025? What should we get excited about?
My book's coming out. My book is coming out, if this is aired by then, the 14th of April.
And where will it be available?
That's going to be available, hopefully bloody everywhere. It's going to be available on Amazon, on my TikTok shop. It's literally going to be everything you need to build a business. It's like a year's worth of coaching in a book.
And how much would that normally cost me from you if I was going to coach
from
with you?
Me, like between $9,000 if you're my mastermind, 16,000 if you're my one-to-one client.
And how much is the book going to be?
I haven't set that yet.
Okay.
But it's not going to be thousands.
It's not going to
be like $12.99, something like that.
Okay, so we can really tap into that and really get. And is there going to be a pre-order?
There's going to be a launch offer. Okay. So on the 14th of April, please, everyone, buy this book. It's going to be like 99p to buy it or something ridiculous on the launch day. So, I'd appreciate everyone's support on that. But you will love it because, like you all know, I'm not a gatekeeper.
Yeah. No, you share a lot. And obviously, that's what this podcast is, right?
Yeah.
It's sharing.
So the book is like my main thing. I want to get out to like 1 million women to help them in business. Like,
big aim.
That's my aim now. Like, I feel like this sounds really sad, but I feel like I've conquered so much and like I've done so many things and I've ticked off my list, like, the chains, the salons, the academies, the people I've worked with, like so much stuff. Now I'm like, okay, next level, what do I want? And I found that in Bali. Like, that's what Bali gave me. I was like, what am I doing this for? What am I doing it for? I was like, no, I need to help 1 million women in business.
It sounds like you've gone from what do I want for me to what do I want for the world. Yeah. And that's what this new mission sounds like it's turning into. And are we staying on the shores of the UK or are we thinking about some global?
Watch this space. I'm 50-50 at the moment between here and Dubai. So let's see.
Yeah, super exciting. And have you got a word for this year?
Do you know what? That's really bad because one of my business partners asked me the other day and I was like, oh my God, what was it? Last year was peace, and I'm just like, I got that.
That's mad, isn't it? And also a time that was so chaotic for you personally.
Yeah.
And you didn't know where you were going to be in December and where you were in January, and you came peace with the business, peace through your healing, peace in your relationship, peace in your family. Yeah. How beautiful.
I know. It was wealth. This one's wealth.
Wealth.
And happiness. I couldn't choose between the two.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thanks for letting me interview you. This was so fun. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy.